Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. We have Week 5's Saturday recap to take care of. There's 5 games we need to talk about, so I'm not going to chit-chat or dilly-dally in this. We have 5 recaps to do, all the stats, everything and anything included, so let's go. Alright, so we need to talk our very first game. It is New Mexico and Northern Arizona, and this was a surprise game for me. This is one of those sneaky games where like, oh, suddenly we have something good here. And we started off with what the hell just happened. So the opening kickoff hits a Northern Arizona up man. Ben Derby falls on it for New Mexico. It's a touchback for the Chupacabras. So already a change of possession, and we're like a second into the game here. Living on third down here for the Chupacabras, and on the first drive, Jerome Johnson to Demond Street as he shakes a defender. It goes all the way into the end zone. New Mexico's up first, 7-0. Wranglers now will have their first chance to answer the bell after they got it taken away, but a tip pass on fourth down will turn it back over to New Mexico. And there goes Jerome Johnson again on this drive as he's tackled for a first down. He's so good at improvising. He's so good at scrambling. I've tweeted this. There will be games where he looks so good like this, and then he'll just have a play where you're just like, what was that? So, I mean, again, mistakes happen, don't get me wrong, but still. Chupacabras still have the ball. They get inside the Northern Arizona 10 with an option pitch to the left side. James White cruises into the end zone. It's 14-0 New Mexico. Kobe Smith with a nice catch against the wall. He gains some more after that. Northern Arizona trying to get on the board here. And then shout out to Jasius Clark on that pass breakup. He had a nice pass breakup. He's actually had a pretty stellar last couple of weeks. He's kind of showing out for New Mexico, so I do want to give him a special shout out with that. I mean, he's playing really well in that secondary. Another pass breakup, this time by Gleason Sprewell as we hit the end of the first quarter. Northern Arizona's drive is going to stall out. Nestor Aguirre comes out for a field goal, and he hits it, so it's 14-3. Wranglers are on the board. New Mexico has their drive come up with nothing, but a Northern Arizona penalty will extend it, and we get new downs for the Chupacabras. We have some snapping issues on both sides of the ball, so some low snaps, some high snaps over the heads, stuff like that, and it's only the second quarter. And then, man, another bad snap as Johnson has to eat a big loss. So, again, another snap going over his head, and suddenly fourth down for New Mexico. It's pretty much a glorified punt for Ben Derby. Field goal attempt no good here on fourth down. Northern Arizona takes over. And then Wranglers somehow work downfield while also just kind of overthrowing guys at the same time. So when they weren't throwing just hellacious overthrows and incompletions, they were moving the ball. So, I mean, you can't have one without the other on this drive, apparently. Fourth down, though, is one of the latter of those plays as the ball sails out of the end zone. So another turnover on downs for Northern Arizona. Nice pass breakup for Daiwan Griffin as Johnson tries to throw into triple coverage. More improv from Jerome. Another first down is achieved, and New Mexico wants to tack on another field goal here before halftime. Inside the 5, fourth and goal, Isaac Crocker wide open in the end zone, but he drops it as the pyrotechnics in the back go off, the little sparklers and what have you. Brutal way to go. Wranglers have the ball with 10 seconds left in the first half. And as a last gasp of it, Atkins Frazier just heaves a pass, just yeet. And Marlon Cook, he comes down with it. Somehow over a defender. It's a catch and a touchdown in the end zone. It's 14-10 with the extra point. New Mexico leads by 4 heading into the halftime break. Third and medium coming out of the half. Jerome Johnson does it himself again. He converts a first down as he slides, but then faces another third down, another bad snap. Johnson will hit James White, but they cannot get the first down. Ben Derby, though, will come on, and he knocks a field goal through. It is 17-10, New Mexico. Might be the first catch for Karan Ashley of the day. Kind of a small day for him here, but it's a big one for him. It's a first down and more to the New Mexico 13 for the Wranglers. Marlon Cook has a catch on the right sideline. He takes it all the way up and in for the score, and we're tied at 17 here in Albuquerque, baby. Not for long, though. Nestor Aguirre, he's going to hit another deuce. I believe that's his second of the season. 19-17. Wranglers now take the lead. Pressure up the middle. Jerome Johnson fumbles. Malik Ritchie has a scoop and score, and Northern Arizona has now opened up the scoring a little bit, 26-17. So New Mexico just kind of coming with it here. Although, next possession for New Mexico, it's a screen play to the right side for LaJames White. He has blockers. He has a lane to the promised land. It's a touchdown for the Chupacabras. It's 26-23 with a missed extra point. So, again, we're just kind of going back and forth now, but that was needed for New Mexico to try and break up this Northern Arizona momentum. Play action. Atkins Frazier has a seam route to Stephen Lewis. What a dime. It's a touchdown. 33-23. Northern Arizona just, again, trying to squash any of that momentum of New Mexico coming back. And he just does it again, man. Jerome Johnson, once again, 3rd and 14. Johnson takes off. He leaps and stretches across the goal line. It's a touchdown for New Mexico. But we have a cardinal sin here. It doesn't matter, but it's a cardinal sin. Jerome Johnson on the 2-point conversion is going to roll right. He's going to throw across his body, across the field. But he has Isaac Crocker, left side end zone, 2-point conversion, 33-31 is our score. Now, a fumble by Marlon Cook after catching a pass with Kelly knocking it out. New Mexico recovers. And this might be the turning point of the game here, because after that we have a busted coverage play. C.J. Jefferson in motion, no defender on him, easy throw to him. It's a touchdown. Chupacabras back out in front once more. We have a game here. And another 2-point conversion. It's good. It's 39-33 Chupacabras. Northern Arizona will advance on some chunk plays. They get some nice, 5, 6, 7 yards or so. Some nice run plays. And a design quarterback rush right side for Ramon Atkins Frazier as the pile carries him in. So a nice pile up, and they all just move right in there. It's 40-39. Northern Arizona takes the lead by 1. Needing a field goal or anything else, New Mexico will take over with 1-minute warning. Pressure up the middle. Johnson lofts deep, and Demond Street draws a DPI. Pressure up the middle. Johnson lofts deep, and Demond Street draws another DPI. 2 straight plays, 2 defensive pass interferences, and that sets New Mexico up nicely. Demond Street over the middle, brings in a pass. He heads to the goal line. He crosses it. Touchdown New Mexico with 46 seconds left. We're not out of the woods yet. 47-40, yet another 2-point try being good. So I think New Mexico hit 3 2-point tries in a row. Insane, the odds of that happening. The final drive, though, here for Northern Arizona. They need a touchdown to tie it and send it to overtime. Atkins Frazier is hit as he throws. Greg Dent, the only one around, he picks it off. So a short-lived drive for Northern Arizona. New Mexico is going to win this, and they do. The Chupacabras run out the rest of the clock. They take it 47-40, and the New Mexico Chupacabras have their first win in franchise history, game history, whatever you want to call it. I know I took a little bit of breath out of that R because it sounded cool when I was saying it, but whether you consider them Duke City or not, it doesn't matter. The New Mexico Chupacabras have their first win in history. All right, we need to talk stats as they are on the screen here for our first game. And as you can see, a 24-point fourth quarter for New Mexico. So again, like I said in the very beginning, this was one of those games where it was close, but then once we got into the third and the fourth quarter, your ears started to perk up going, we might have a game. We might have a little bit of a game. Northern Arizona got out to a nice lead. They got that momentum. And New Mexico just able to come back, complete the comeback after what seemed like Northern Arizona was going to complete the comeback themselves. But I digress. 47-40 is our final first win for New Mexico. Taking a look at our game leaders on the left side here. Ramon Atkins Frazier, 11 of 22. And these are the Indoor Football League stats. So take it with a grain of salt or don't. 11 of 22, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not the best day. Just like I said, some points in time he was just completely overthrowing guys and not nearly as accurate as you would hope he would be. He did throw 3 touchdowns, so 3 of his 11 completions. That's not bad, but at this point you're wondering, is he going to be the guy? And not to knock on him or steal the stats right here, but he's been in the indoor or arena game for quite a few years now, and 11 of 22 passing against an expansion team. You're wondering, when is this guy going to break out? And again, no shade at the guy, but you're hoping for a little bit more when it comes to that. Nolan Susel, 7 carries, 30 yards, and 0 touchdowns. So not the best day at the office, all things considered. Obviously, I think Ramon Atkins had a couple of running plays too, 1 rushing touchdown as well. So give or take, the running game was a little bit left to be desired. I think Northern Arizona is just kind of a quasi-arena football style team that runs the ball every so often. Marlon Cook, 5 catches, 73 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. So we got 2 of the 3 touchdowns from Atkins. But still, a good game, all things considered, from Marlon Cook. One of those touchdowns obviously being the halftime ender where he just leapt up over the defender and got it. So, good day for him. Jerome Johnson, 17 of 28. Again, not the best, not the worst. A pretty accurate day, all things considered. 1 yard shy of 200, so 199. 4 passing touchdowns. That'll carry. That'll do, man. I mean, from what we've seen, there have been mistakes that he's had, and again, some of those were snaps. And you can say the same thing for Northern Arizona as well, but some of those snaps, man, going completely over his head, yeah, it's just kind of brutal. He's also your leading rusher here, 8 carries, 50 yards, and 1 touchdown. You wonder how many more rushing yards he would have, depending on if he has to eat that fumble yardage or whatever the case could be. So 50 yards, 1 touchdown on 8 carries. I mean, he only carried it 8 times. That's not bad, considering they had 23 rushing attempts. So about a third, all things considered. C.J. Jefferson, your leading receiver, 6 carries, 86 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown for him. I thought DeMont Street would honestly have that the way that he had, but yeah, I mean, C.J. Jefferson had some really, really nice catches. Street had 66 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, but yeah, they only threw it to 3 guys. Street, Jefferson, and LaJames White. All of them caught touchdowns. All of them played pretty well, all things considered. Taking a look at the right side here to the team stats, I don't believe for 1 second New Mexico had 20 first downs. Now, I could be mistaken, but these are the indoor football stats. That's what they say. Third down conversions, 5 for 11. I can believe that, mainly due to the fact that Chupacabras were living and dying on third downs for most of their drives, and they were able to get it. The thing I don't understand is you had fourth down efficiency of 3 for 4, so that would make it 9 out of 11, so we're missing some fourth downs or some third down conversions or whatever. Same thing with Northern Arizona, 3 of 6, but 0 for 2. So where's the other third or fourth down? Because that's a 5 for 6 or whatever. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So it's not accurate. We'll say that. Total yards, 219 of 260 for both sides. Not a bad day. Either way, anything considered, whatever you want to say. It's not a bad day for both sides. They were moving the ball. They had to. They were playing catch up. They were playing comeback, and Northern Arizona thought they had it until New Mexico. They secured the victory. Again, we talked passing with both of the guys. No one really changed anything there. The one interception being pretty much the big turnover. Not the interception, the fumble. We'll talk about that in a second. The fumble being the big turnover. But the one interception thrown, the only interception in the game. Rushing for both sides. Again, a lot to be desired for Northern Arizona. They're running it. They've only run it 13 times. Now, yeah, that looks good for the yards per rush, but if you're only throwing for 161 yards and you're only rushing it 13 times, your offense isn't really producing much. And if that's true of what it is, they only ran 35 total plays. That's not good. 76 on 23 for New Mexico, and if you look at that too, 28 passing attempts to 23 rushing, kind of accurate or balanced, and they ran 51. So again, 51 to 35. Yeah, there's a team that had way more chances at scoring, and it showed. Field goals, 1 for 1 and 1 for 2, and yeah, I think that's accurate going back through the notes and everything. Penalties. I don't know if I believe these penalties. Only 2 penalties for New Mexico. 5 for Northern Arizona. I'd have to go back and look at that. But if that is true, then I think New Mexico only had 1 or 2 penalties in the very first game against Orlando, and I didn't buy that at all. So I'd have to go back and look again. But something not getting called here, man. Turnovers. 3 turnovers for Northern Arizona, 1 for New Mexico, and yeah, I mean, that's going to cost you the game. You turn the ball over 3 times, you lose 2 fumbles, and you throw a pick. Is going to give New Mexico opportunities to score, and they do. So I'm not saying that the turnovers were what caused it or anything like that. There's multiple plays that you could have made or done differently, multiple defensive plays that you could have done differently. Northern Arizona just kind of reeling right now. New Mexico getting the first win, so kudos to that. But we need to talk Northern Arizona. Is it time to hit that panic button? I think so. This team has not been good for the last couple of seasons now, and starting 0-3, you needed this win to carry momentum. You needed the win against Tucson to carry, or not Tucson. Who do they play? I'm trying to remember. Either way, they needed a win. They might have played Tucson. I can't remember. But then I'm thinking New Mexico played Tucson. So regardless, I'm rambling. Northern Arizona needs a win. Simple as that. As simple as that. To cut everything short, Northern Arizona absolutely just needs a win. I don't know where it's at on their schedule. If they can't beat New Mexico when they have their injury issues, when they're only suiting up 22 guys, they only have a 22-man roster, a potential 25, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. There's something not right with Northern Arizona right now, and it sucks. It sucks because this is a team that's hung a banner. So what can you do? But we need to go take a look at our bet, and we'll move on with our second of 5 recaps. No, we didn't win this one. I had Northern Arizona on the money line, and they got back in it till they didn't. So, loser. All right. Recap number 2. And, oh, buddy, this is just pure domination from the Fishers Freight. And they dominated Arizona. We thought it would be a bloodbath with Iowa. Yeah, it was. It was, man. But Iowa showed some heart. I mean, let's be honest. They didn't give up. But you're running into a buzzsaw. So that's all I can really say, man. Starting it off, Iowa moves down the field a little bit. High snap over Rubidu's head. It's a scoop and score, but a pesky flag negates what would be a Fishers touchdown. Next play is Rubidu delivering a dime to Donald McKinney for the score. The extra point is blocked and almost returned the other way, all things considered, but 6-0 our score. Fishers converts a 4th and short, mixes some runs and passes, and the RPO handoff up the middle for Josiah King. Just kind of a run-of-the-mill drive, your typical drive for Fishers. Josiah King goes in for the score, 7-6 Fishers. Callum Sutherland then nails a deuce, makes it 9-6. And is there a better player right now? And you can say quarterback, wide receiver, like Callum Sutherland is just on fire to start this season. Field goals, deuces, extra points, whatever you like. He's so good from the kicking perspective right now. Early 3rd down conversion for Iowa. Ravenel has a 10-plus yards catch, or has 10-plus yards for a first down on a catch. Iowa seems committed to the run, but Fishers is stopping it for minimal gains. And in this game, Najee, Bryant Lele did not play. So they relied on Ivan Corbin and I can't remember who else, but they had other guys running the ball here. Oh my goodness, on 4th down, it's a Curtis Ravenel hauling in a deep touchdown pass. It's 13-9 Barnstormers. So again, Barnstormers starting a little hot. They were shut out in the first quarter against Green Bay. Not so much in this one. Speaking of committed to the run, there goes Josiah King for a nice run. It's a 1st down and more for Fishers. King, Stokes, Harper, Roberto, they all get touches on this drive, with Roberto smashing his way into the end zone. It's 16-13 Fishers, so they retake the lead. And then Callum Sutherland, what did I say? Smacks another deuce through the uprights. It's 18-13 Fishers. Like I said, no Bryant Lele for Iowa in this game, but Ivan Corbin, he's running decently for all things considered. You know, Bryant Lele for me has kind of been a shock and surprise. So Ivan Corbin trying to do the same thing. So you got a backup quarterback playing running back, like shades of Hassan Rogers in Tulsa last year. Barnstormers drive stalls out. New kicker Spalding comes out for a field goal and he misses. I think they're saying Gabriel Reed was hurt. So Spalding comes out, he misses it. Fishers is going to take over. And then, man, Josiah King picking up right where he left off, running so well in this game right now. Fishers just running well as a whole. That's what they've wanted to do, and they're doing it. Felix Harper drops back, can't find anyone open, so he does it himself. 16-yard touchdown rush to the left sideline, 20-13. Freight extend their lead. That's not right. It should be, I think, 25-13. I wrote down 20, so my bad. Onside is recovered by Fishers, but psych, Iowa will get the ball after an offside on the kick as we hit the 1-minute warning. Iowa can't do anything with the short field. Field goal unit is out and the kick is blocked. Fishers will have a chance to add more points at the half. Jordan Davis uses his entire frame, the backup quarterback, wide receiver for Fishers. He has a leaping touchdown as he brings it in. It's a nice pass from Felix Harper as well. It's 32-13. Freight have just opened this game just wide open. Jesus, mine. Iowa, they're aided by penalties as they work to the 1-yard line. Rubidu carries across the goal line as the clock expires. We hit halftime. The extra point is no good. It's 32-19. Freight continue to lead. Coming out of the second half, Josiah King has a catch in the flats. It turns on the turbo to make it 1st and goal. King caps off the drive with a touchdown. What a signing he's been. I think he was in the NAL or AF1 last season, signed on partway through, and he's just been lights out for Fishers ever since he signed him. 39-19, Fishers, they go up by 20 points. Leon Smalls with the big tackle for a loss, and Donnie Lewis jumps a route, and he has a pick six. Iowa's coming unraveled. Fisher's just dominating, 45-19. Rubidoux heaves an end zone shot. Lewis and McKinney fight for the ball. Refs say incomplete. It brings up fourth down, but DeMonte Martin converts with a long catch. Curtis Ravenel has some nice catches. Rubidoux, keeper, goes to the left side, and he adds a touchdown. So Iowa gets onto the scoreboard once more. It's 45-26. Dominic Roberto getting some carries now as Fisher alternates running backs as they did last week. Missed tackles, Roberto bouncing off defenders. He makes his way to pay dirt, 52-26 as we reach the end of the third quarter. Leon Smalls ragdolls Rubidoux as Fisher is just pouring it on. Just a huge sack for Smalls. Fourth down pass over the middle hits McKinney. He converts the fourth down. And then, oh no, it's a high snap. Oh no, Iowa. High snap over Rubidoux's head. McKinney picks it up. He tries to get rid of it. The refs deem that as intentional grounding in the end zone. It's a safety for Fishers. What a sequence that is. It's 54-26. Jordan Davis now is at quarterback for the Freight. He has a quarterback keeper up the middle. Iowa can't tackle him. He takes us straight to the house, man. 61-26. I would have stayed on the bus if I was the Barnstormers, man. Pure domination in 2 weeks for Fishers. Callum Sutherland hits his third deuce of the night. He is most likely to earn special teams player honors. I mean, what can he do? 63-26. And then to switch it out, Ivan Corbin now in the game at quarterback for Iowa as both teams are now sitting their starters. Cornelius Montgomery and Leon Smalls smack Corbin for a sack. Maybe. It's a loss at the least. It's setting up third and long. Spalding comes out for a field goal on fourth down. It's no good, and we just kind of see how much time Fishers will waste when it comes to running the ball here. Freight take about 2.5 minutes off the clock, but they can't convert their own fourth down. Iowa ball, they're down big. Although pitch out left side for Josh Simmons, he backs his way into the end zone, 63-33, but Fishers will kneel out the clock as they obliterate the Iowa Barnstormers. 63-33 is our final. Kind of how we thought it would be. Let's go take a look at those stats and our bet and everything else when it comes to this game. All right, taking a look at the stats on the screen here for this game, and again, just pure domination. When you consider that Fishers had, 32 points at the end of the first half. Did I read that right? 32 points, and Iowa had 33 for the entire game. What can you do, man? 31 points at the end of the second half, 20-11, 31 points. Iowa had 33 for the entire game. Fishers could have gone practically an entire half without scoring and still almost won this game. It's insane. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of just, the spread was almost 17 points. We knew this would be a win for Fishers. For Iowa's credit, like I said, they didn't give up. They kept going. They just ran into a buzzsaw. And when you consider what Iowa has gone through in their first 3 games, Quad City, Green Bay, Fishers, all teams that a lot of people have predicted to go to the playoffs, they're fighting hard, man. And it sucks. You're running into a buzzsaw for 3 of your first 3 games. I'm not saying that Iowa is the worst team just based on the teams that they've played, man. I'm not trying to give them a pass either, but it's like they're still showing it, man. You can see signs of life for Iowa considered in years past where it just seems like they were quitting. So I got to give credit where it's due. On the left side here for our game leaders, Harrison Rubidoux, 12 of 17, and that's what I'm saying. A pretty good day, all things considered. 12 of 17 is really accurate. He only threw for 139 yards, but at the same time, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. We're talking about a guy who suited up for 2 games behind Nate Davis. He's in his rookie season practically, or second year, whatever you want to call it, and he's learning. Brand new coaching staff, brand new offense, and again, not trying to give Iowa a pass here, but you have to put this stuff into context. That's a pretty good day for what Iowa was able to accomplish here. So yeah, you wish you had more passing yards, especially since they were playing from behind the entire time, but all things considered, they did lead at one point. They led 13-9. They led 6-0. So it's there. They will get there. It's just going to take some time. Ivan Corbin, a leading rusher, 12 carries, 20 yards, no touchdowns. I don't know how much of a difference it would have made had they had Bryant Lilley in there, but at the same time, maybe he would have added a little bit more juice. Maybe they would have kept it a little bit closer until the eventual blowout happened. Who knows? But again, I'm not going to speculate on that. But Corbin, not a bad day. He did get some snaps at quarterback, so there you go. Curtis Ravenel, what a season he is having. Kind of the go-to guy here for Rubidoo. 6 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown to boot. Not a bad day, considering what he's been able to accomplish in the 3 games so far this season. Not a bad pickup, considering he was on, I think, either season or short-term injured reserve for Bay Area most of the time last year. So what can you say about it? I mean, he's having a really, really good season. Felix Harper, perfect. 6 for 6 for 62 yards. Didn't need to throw it. Barely threw it. Still threw a touchdown. So 6 for 6, man. They just ran the ball. That's all they had to do. But either way, when you have to throw it, Felix Harper's been accurate with even the short amount of throws he's had to do. 15 per game or less than that, even 6 here. So, yeah, it might show up that he's not throwing for a lot of yards, and people can take those stats for like, oh, he sucks, he's not throwing for yards. He's accurate. They're running the ball. They're doing what they need to do. Josiah King, 9 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. And again, they just ran the ball. They ran the ball. When you look at how many people ran the ball, 5 different players for Fishers ran the ball in this game. King is also your leading receiver. He caught two of those 6 passes for 37 yards. Four players caught a pass at least. So moving on up, because I think only 2 caught passes against Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Team stats on the right side here. If these are accurate, and again, these are the Indoor Football League stats, if these are accurate, Fishers barely had third downs. Barely had fourth downs. But what confuses me is they had 2 fourth down attempts, but only missed 1 third down. So something's off there. Okay. And then we're missing 3 third down attempts for Iowa if they went 5 for 11, but went perfect on fourth down. So there's something missing there. So just more inaccuracies, man. Passing, again, Iowa's going to have more passing yards. Fishers 62 passing yards. Well, again, they didn't need to throw it. They really didn't. Just the 1 turnover, though. The 1 interception, Fishers just dominated. Tackles for losses, not converting fourth downs, things like that. Rushing yards, and that includes, sack yardage and stuff like that. They had 8 rushing yards, and that's Iowa of the past, and you hate to see that stat too. But at the same time, 28 rushing attempts, and yes, that includes the sacks, but they still tried to establish the run. They just couldn't, because their defense of Fishers practices against the run. So, I mean, like I said, you ran into a buzzsaw. You were trying to use that as your strength, and Fisher said, that's our strength. We're going to do it better. Because 182 rushing yards for Fishers on the same amount of attempts. 6.5 yards per rush. That's a first down every 2 plays. Goodness. The 2 missed field goals for Iowa, pretty much glorified punts, but one was blocked, right? I think one was blocked. They had an extra point blocked as well. And then if these are accurate, which I do not believe they are, Iowa had 3 penalties for 1 yard. So were those penalties at the goal line where it was half a yard? I don't know, but 3 penalties for 1 yard. I don't buy that. 7 penalties for 30 for Fishers. That can seem accurate, but I don't know. But that's what we have when it comes to that. Taking a look at the defensive stats, because I forgot to do that in the first recap, but I'm not going to forget in this one. Cornelius Montgomery might have a case for Defensive Player of the Week. 9 tackles, half a sack, 1.5 tackles for a loss, 1 pass breakup, and 1 blocked kick. That should be good enough to get you Defensive Player of the Week. If it doesn't, I don't know, man. The dude was all over the stat sheet in this one, and he was all over the backfield and everything else. He was all over the place. 9.5 tackles for a loss with just 1 sack, 2 half sacks, which Montgomery and Smalls combined for. So 9.5 tackles for a loss for Fishers. The 1 pick, 4 pass breakups, and 1 block kick. As for Iowa, 1 pass breakup. That's it. No picks, no tackles for a loss, nothing. Like, every run that Fishers had was positive. That's crazy to think about. Tyler Tate, your leading tackler, with 7, which really wasn't 7. It was 4 solo tackles with 3 assists, so 5.5 total tackles. Jazeer Merrick's had 5 solo tackles and 1 assisted, so 5.5 for him as well. And then Marcus Gray, 10 total tackles. It's really 7 tackles, really 8.5, but that's what the stats are showing, man. So that's where we have it. But overall, that's our game. That's where we have it. We need to go take a look at our bet for this one, and we need to go take a look at recap number 3. Fishers, more like fishing for more money. All right, recap number 3. We need to take a look at Green Bay and Quad City. Green Bay trying to stay undefeated. Quad City trying to hand them their loss, and Yeah, I picked the wrong time to bet against Quad City, huh? Let's recap it. We start the game with automatic Andrew Mevis hitting a deuce, and Green Bay goes up 2-0. It's going to be one of those days, huh? Quad City establishing the run early here. Neal has a nice runs to keep the chains moving. Steamwheelers finally forced to throw it. It's thrown away on third down. Bogdan comes out for a field goal, and he makes it. It's 3-2 Quad City, top of the third inning. Charles Rosser has a strip sack on Liam Thompson, but Green Bay recovers the loose ball. Never mind. Green Bay challenges illegal defense, and they win it, so ignore the previous note. And now Green Bay has their drive fizzle out, but Andrew Mevis hits a field goal. It's 5-3 Green Bay as we head into the seventh inning stretch. A lot of running for Quad City, plenty of quarterback draws and design quarterback runs here, jet sweeps as well. Moving to the the Green Bay side of things on their side of the field as we go to the quarter number 2. Third and goal goes incomplete, but a Green Bay flag will bail out Quad City. 4 more chances at the end zone. And then just a routine under center handoff for Jared Ware. That looked like 11-man style football. Just under center handoff, just a straight like dive play, off tackle, off guard, whatever you want to call it. And it just looked like that outdoor football run, man. He parks it in the end zone, first touchdown of the game, 10-5 Steamwheelers. Liam Thompson will use his legs on third down to convert a first down as the Blizzard start to move on this drive. Green Bay makes it inside the 10, and that's all. It's a 4-and-out as Quad City will take over on downs. Jared Ware has an option pitch, and he holds down the R2 button. He sprints into the end zone, and I use PlayStation, not an Xbox guy. Sorry. So R2 button, you're sprinting. Screw your left trigger or whatever it is. 17-5 Quad City. Steamwheelers nearly pick off Thompson twice and force a 3-and-out. Mevis comes out for a field goal. It's no good, but they flip field position. Kind of a glorified punt there. Couple of plays for Quad City to drain the clock here to the 1-minute warning as both sides starting to get strategic on how they want to take this 1-minute timing rules into effect. Kevon Rudd has a catch to midfield. Daquan Neal with a quarterback scramble, and Jared Ware almost breaks the plane. Where has this Quad City offense been? Kean Williams suits up, so you know he's going to have a touchdown because he suited up for the game, and he does. It's a touchdown on an out route into the flat on the left side, 24-5. The Boat Boys, they're on top. Green Bay has a nice return on their kickoff. Mevis is out for a field goal with 4 seconds left, and he makes it. It's 24-8. Green Bay has no touchdowns as we enter halftime. Coming into the second half, Green Bay needs to answer quickly. They do. 3 plays, Terrell Carey wide open over the middle. He dives across the goal line. 24-15 Blizzard deficit is now single digits. Kevon Rudd, simple catch, and he supermans over a defender on his way for 6. Turning back the clock, man. 31-15, Quad City squashes the momentum. However, Green Bay's offense has just been stymied in the running game here. They couldn't really get anything going. We'll talk about that in a minute. Thompson trying his best to get it going. Ransom is close to picking off Thompson twice tonight. He has another pass breakup. Thompson floats a pass to Terrell Carey, and he does it again. Diving into the end zone once more goes Carey. 31-22 Green Bay. They're going to need a stop here eventually. Long drive for Quad City as Daquan Neal improvises, and it's a 3rd and long scramble inside the 5. Broken coverage, Kevon Rudd open right side and into the end zone, his second of the night. 38-22 Steamwheelers. Another floated pass. Terrell Carey is out to midfield in a first down, so Terrell Carey is starting to come alive here. Drayshawn Hudson, I believe this is either his first catch or one of not many. His first catch for a touchdown. I wrote first catch. It's 25 yards, man. Green Bay sticking around here, 38-29. So again, getting back to 2 scores, down to 9. I guess that's still 2 scores unless you include the deuce and all that stuff, but still in that 2-1 score range. Daquan Neal has been on fire when it comes to running tonight. It's just some old school MVP style. It's the real deal, Daquan Neal. Case in point, design quarterback draw up the middle again, and it's a touchdown. 44-29, Big Boats. Frankie West has a lane down the right sideline. He has a kick return touchdown. So ensuing kickoff, he takes it all the way. I don't know if he was touched against the wall. Quad City is going to challenge. And indeed he was. They say his foot or something like that touched the wall. As he was touched, it's no touchdown for Green Bay, but they have great field position. A few plays later, Trayvon Alexander wide open back of the end zone. Green Bay tacks on another's. Again, we're just trading touchdowns at this point, going in between. 17, 16, whatever, down to 9. It's 44-36. The weather phenomenon, they make it an 8-point game. Steamwheelers just content on running the ball and killing some clock here. Jordan Vesey comes up big on a third down, catch inside the 10. They move the chains with under 2 minutes to play, and then Vesey caps it off. It's an out route and end for the touchdown. They had quite a few out route touchdowns in this. Steamwheelers 51-36 at the 1 minute warning. Thompson is going to try his best. He fires at the end zone, and Kevin Ransom, he finally has that interception, and it's against his former team. Quad City will kneel it out. They take the victory 51-36. They upset the Green Bay Blizzard. All right. Taking a look at our stats here on the screen. It's pretty much that 21-point second quarter is what drove Quad City to the victory here. Otherwise, it's pretty much the normal back and forth that we saw for most parts of the game, man. I didn't expect it. Once Mevis hit that deuce to start the game, my first thought was, here we go. And obviously, being a Quad City fan, I'm happy and relieved, but you just wonder where this team has been the entire time. Now, to take the bias out of this, we do need to talk. Quad City was running the ball really well. You see the stats there on the right side. We'll talk about that in a second. 170 rushing yards. That is the Indoor Football League stats. Take it with a grain of salt. If they're accurate, if they're not, we don't know. But if it is accurate, 170 rushing yards to only 34 for Green Bay. So Green Bay absolutely got shut down in the running game in this one. Taking a look at the game leaders on the left side, Liam Thompson, 9 of 16, 121 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. So practically every other pass that he completed was a touchdown. It's not the best day at the office for the guy, but he was, for all intents and purposes, over 50%. It's, again, not the best, but he was throwing touchdowns. He was still slinging it. Quad City was bringing pressure. Quad City was bringing heat. You know, Charles Rosser almost had that strip sack if it wasn't the challenge or anything like that. So what can you do? But Liam Thompson, even in adversity, still showed all right. He's your leading rusher as well, 8 carries for 22 yards. And again, rushing the ball for Green Bay was kind of tough when you consider only 2 players ran the ball in this game, Liam Thompson and DeMylan Brown, the backup quarterback, third-string quarterback, whatever you want to call him. They didn't really run the ball. They chose not to really run the ball in this one. Terrell Carey with a nice resurgence here. 3 catches, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. So 3 of the 9 completions from Liam Thompson went to Terrell Carey. It's not bad. Everything that they had to get done and do. DeMylan Brown had 4 catches. Drayshawn Hudson just had the 1 catch. Trayvon Alexander just had the 1 catch. So able to spread it out, but not really spread it out. It's really between 2 wide receivers, Carey and Brown. Daquan Neal, pretty accurate here, 14 of 19, 117 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he, 13 carries, 99 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, I don't think he's going to get Offensive Player of the Week honors because I think that's going to TJ Edwards, but when you consider both rushing and passing here, over 200 yards when it comes to both all-purpose, whatever you want to call it, and 5 total touchdowns for the guy. So if it's not going to be TJ Edwards, I throw my hat in the ring for Daquan Neal when it comes to Offensive Player of the Week when it comes to that. But all things considered, he was the guy in this game, and I've said it in previous game recaps and previews and stuff. You need other people to step up. They did, but Daquan Neal also stepped up too. So it's nice when you can have other players step up along with your stars when it comes to that. Kevon Rudd, speaking of stepping up here, 5 catches, 49 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. Who cares about Keon Williams, man? Give me Kevon. I'm just kidding. Now, Kevon Rudd had one hell of a game. Jordan Vesey also had a pretty good game, all things considered. We're wondering where these pieces were going to step up. They're starting to, man. You know, not the best day for Keon Williams here. It looks like Green Bay zeroed in on him and tried to shut him down, and that opened up the door for other guys to kind of show through here. So, good things there for Quad City. Taking a look at the stats on the right side, I don't know if I believe that Quad City was 8 for 9 on third downs. I don't. And I also don't believe that they had 16 first downs to Green Bay's 6. Now, I know Green Bay struggled, but I don't know. They had 3 third down conversions, so that's 3 first downs right there. I don't know. That's the Indoor Football League stats, man. Total yards, 287 for Quad City, 155 for Green Bay. I can believe that a little bit. Quad City probably had more yards. They had more opportunities, and they did shut Green Bay down. So, yeah, we'll see. Now, 121 passing yards, 9 of 16 for Liam Thompson, just the one interception, just the one turnover in this game. And again, just 4 yards shy for DeQuan Neal. They were just up to the task. And like we mentioned at the very beginning, 170 rushing yards, with 100 of that pretty much being DeQuan Neal's. They were running all over, whether it was him, whether it was Jared Ware, whether it was VC or Rudd or whoever. Like I don't think Rudd actually had one. It was pretty much Ware and Neal. Looking at the stats here, Kean Williams had 1 rush, Trenton Barnes had a rush, VC had 2, but it was pretty much the Ware and Neal show on the running game. But Jared Ware running really well. Field goals, both guys hit their field goals. Penalties, I think there's got to be more penalties than that, at least for the yardage, man. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but that's what I have written down. That's what the league put out, so that's what they're going with. And again, just the one turnover to speak of. Taking a look at the defensive stats here, just 1.5 tackles for a loss for Quad City. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but 5.5 tackles for a loss when it comes to Green Bay. So Jonathan Ross, 7 solo tackles, 1 assisted tackle, 3 tackles for a loss. So he was getting in the backfield, being disruptive a little bit. Yeah, 3 pass breakups for the Blizzard. It shows a fumble recovery, but there was no fumble for Quad City to have, so something's screwy right there. Liam Thompson recovered a fumble. There's your stats, Indoor Football League. Your quarterback recovered a fumble of his own. I don't know. Keyshawn Moore had 1.5 tackles for a loss for the Steamwheelers. Alex Harriott, 9 tackles. That's been a point of emphasis here for me, for a lot of Quad City fans. Kind of showed out a little bit. 9 total tackles now, 5 solo, 4 assisted, so actually 7 total tackles, but still. 1 interception, Kevin Ransom, 2 pass breakups, and he had 2 tackles to go along with it. So not a bad day at the office for Kevin Ransom facing his former team. But that's where we're going to leave it here. Good victory for the Steamwheelers. Just a bump in the road for Green Bay. I'm not going to sit there and press the panic button and be like, something's wrong here. If this starts to become a trend, then you start looking at it. But until then, we need to go take a look at our bet, and we still have recap number 4 and number 5 to do, so let's go take a look at those. Call me fair weather if you want, but betting against Quad City certainly helps, doesn't it? They take the victory. I lose money, but the heart's happy. All right, recap number 4. And we have what was kind of a close game until Arizona eventually kind of flexed their muscle and said, we're Arizona. But San Antonio, for all intents and purposes, kind of kept this game close. Gunslingers start out with an end zone moon ball that goes incomplete. Pretty pass heavy here on their first drive. Kobe Williams goes down with an injury, and that's going to affect this offensive line. So he was holding his hand or his wrist, I think, or something as he went out to the sidelines. Terry Beckner, the defensive lineman, would come in for San Antonio. Gunslingers having some snap issues. Collazo has a ball squirt out of his hand. It's deemed a fumble, and Arizona has a scoop and score for the time being. In Collazo's defense, and I've handled my fair share of balls, some of the footballs that they have this season are pretty slippery, whether it's the textures that are being printed on them, whatever the case could be. So I get it. We've seen plenty of quarterbacks have the balls kind of slip out of their hands throughout the first couple of weeks here. No touchdown, but after a challenge, it is Arizona's ball on the fumble. So Arizona does recover the fumble, but they were touched down. Arizona works into San Antonio's red zone, but Odom's Dukes puts the ball on the carpet himself, and now the Gunslingers, they recover a fumble of their own. Kobe Williams is back into the game for San Antonio in the offensive line. Austin Upshaw tips a pass into the air. Kenny Gallup picks it off to go along with his fumble recovery. So right place, right time, Rattlers ball. One play, one touchdown, Corey Reed in the end zone all alone, touchdown Rattlers, 7-0. They draw first blood. Joaquin Collazo hits, I almost said Marlon Cook, but that's not it. It's Dion Cook. As he slides to make the catch, he's not touched. He rushes in for the score. Arizona will challenge. And Arizona does win it. Cook is down by contact. It's no touchdown, but it's still a nice gain to the Arizona 6. We start the second quarter with KJ Smith getting to the 1-yard line, but it's 4th and goal. Collazo gets sacked. I don't know what was going on. Arizona has a goal line stand. Myler and company, they work it all the way to the other side of the field to the 1. He punches it in for the score, as is tradition, 14-0 Arizona. Gunslingers on their next drive, they start to move it here. Toss left side for KJ Smith. He breaks tackles. He finds the cool part of the field. That's the end zone. Touchdown at San Antonio, and they are on the board. It's 14-7. Rattlers able to work again inside the San Antonio red zone with some penalty help, but face a fourth down as Cook's field goal. There's a lot of cooks in this league, man. A lot of cooks in the kitchen. Matthew Cook is who the kicker is. His field goal attempt is no good. Gunslingers have 2 minutes to tie it before the half. And they will try their best. San Antonio now works inside the Arizona red zone themselves. 2 seconds left. Tyler Huddle drills a field goal. We enter the break 14-10 in favor of the Rattlers. Coming out for the second half, Jalen Jimerson has an easy interception, but he just cannot hang on, and that could have given San Antonio a huge momentum swing here. Myler, though, he will rush to convert a third down after that. Arizona takes nearly half of the third quarter, so they were just draining clock. Methodical drive. I've talked about this in games prior, years prior. It's just a typical Arizona drive, man. They boa constrictor you, even though they're the Rattlers. Myler finds Corey Reed in the middle of the end zone, his second touchdown of the night, 20-10. Rattlers miss the extra point. Gunslingers can't do much with it. Fourth and long pass is almost caught by Deion Cook, but he crashes into the Dashers and it falls incomplete. Arizona ball at the San Antonio 8. It's first and goal already. 1 play, 1 touchdown. Myler, RPO keeper, finds pay dirt, 27-10 as Arizona starting to create some separation here. A nice pass to Upshaw and a nice run by KJ Smith as sets Collazo up nicely. So left side end zone shot and Upshaw gives San Antonio a much needed score. It's 27-17. We start the fourth quarter with Arlen Bruce getting stripped of the ball and San Antonio recovering. So a little bit of a momentum swing here. Deion McShane, end zone. Collazo finds him. We have a game here, 27-24. I don't know the stupid score. San Antonio within 1 possession of this game. Arlen Bruce has a little bit of redemption, though. It's a nice kick return to set Arizona up on the San Antonio side of the field. Design quarterback draw from Max Myler. He has another touchdown rush. Arizona responds to all of that, 34-24. Not the drive that San Antonio hoped for. Collazo sacked for a 3rd and 10 by Hayden Hatcher. That could be the ball game if they cannot convert here. Collazo's pass might have been tipped at the line, but it's incomplete regardless. Rattlers ball with a chance to go up 3 scores and kill some clock. And they will. Pitch out left side. Kaimani Clark gets on the board. It's a touchdown Arizona, 41-24 with 4 minutes left. Or maybe not. Deion McShane has a kick return touchdown to keep things interesting here. 41-31 Gunslingers. They still have a shot. Onside, though, recovered by Arizona as they look to end it here. Drew Powell comes in at quarterback for Arizona. They're only up 10. Why? I don't know, but he's in. Drive fades and fizzles out for the Rattlers. Cook drills a field goal. It's 44-31. San Antonio clinging to a slim hope at the 1-minute warning. KJ Smith has a catch. He takes off inside the 10. Then they have Collazo run the ball. Why are they having Collazo run the ball? Clock's ticking. They're down 2 scores, man. This is just bad clock management. There's 15 seconds left. You need 2 scores. They have a 3rd down pass go incomplete. And then Hayden Hatcher up the middle. He tells Collazo to take a seat, bud. On 4th down, it's game over from that point on. Rattlers finish out the clock. They win it 44-31. Yeah, just some mind-boggling time management there. I mean, you didn't know if they were going to win it, but they didn't really set them up for a shot regardless. But you're going to take a look at the stats, take a look at our bet, and we still have another recap to do after this one. All right, we need to talk stats and everything else when it comes to this game because Arizona kind of let San Antonio hang around. And then they just shut the door on them. I mean, they toyed with their food a little bit. I don't know if they're actually toying with their food here because that doesn't look like it. I'm not saying Arizona's broken, but they let San Antonio into this game, and for all intents and purposes, yes, they kind of shut the door on them, but there were opportunities for San Antonio. They didn't really take advantage, and Arizona just you hope it doesn't become a trend from what happened from Fishers to here. Just caught your eye a little bit, man. Anyway, taking a look at the score, just more dominance from Arizona into that second half. 30 points in that second half and just kind of separated. At the end of the day, they just kind of separated from that. Only scoring 14 points in the first half against San Antonio. I don't know, man. It's like San Antonio kind of helped, but at the same time, yeah. Joaquin Collazo, taking a look at the game leaders on the left side. Joaquin Collazo, 16 of 34, 155, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not the best day, not the most accurate. I mean, he's there. But I mean, Hayden Hatcher was in his face quite a bit in this game, mixing the coverage, mixing in blitzes, doing everything like that. The defense kind of just got to him a little bit. But he was still able to shell out some touchdowns. He was able to throw the ball a little bit and sling it around. And for all intents and purposes, he did help keep San Antonio in that game. Deon McShane did too, with that kick return touchdown. But for all intents and purposes, trying the best that you can. That's where you have it. KJ Smith, your leading rusher, 7 carries for 25 yards. Again, just one of these teams that just has been having trouble early on in this season establishing the run. Now, Collazo has negative 24 yards rushing when it comes to sack yardage and stuff like that. So, yes, that's going to affect the rushing here, but for the most part, it didn't really matter. You know, you take those 24 rushing yards away, you still had probably like 50 rushing yards. What can you do? Austin Upshaw, pretty good game for him. 8 catches, 82 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So he was half of Collazo's reception. So a lot of trust between Upshaw and Collazo. KJ Smith, Zach Patterson caught a couple. Deon McShane had a touchdown. Deon Cook had 1 catch. So we'll see how that kind of turns out, but able to sling the ball around to multiple wide receivers. Cooks looked good, but Upshaw kind of established himself here as that guy, as that veteran leadership. So we'll see if more of that comes to fruition or how that kind of goes. Kind of wondering where Glenn Gibbons is. I don't think he's played in the last couple of games or at all this season, so we'll see what's going on there. Max Myler, 6 for 9. They didn't throw the ball, really. I mean, they pulled the Fishers in this one. They didn't throw the ball. They just kept the ball on the ground, man. 6 for 9, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. So 4 completions that weren't touchdowns. So both of those were to Corey Reed. Max Myler, 10 carries, 78 yards. So again, he didn't throw the ball too much. He ran the ball more than he threw the ball. That's kind of funny. 3 rushing touchdowns, 5 total touchdowns on the day for him. So again, just kind of running the ball and killing the clock when they needed to. Corey Reed, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 33 receiving yards. Not quite a Randy Moss stat line, but both your catches were touchdowns. You'll take it. You had more yards than that, I mean, you'd have that Randy Moss stat line. I love that Randy Moss stat line. Taking a look at the game stats on the right side, no 4th downs and only 3 for 6 for Arizona. I can kind of believe that, but at the same time, again, these are the Indoor Football League stats. Take it with a grain of salt. 3 for 10 and 2 for 6 on 3rd and 4th down for San Antonio. So you're missing a 3rd down, regardless of what happened there. We'll see. But, yeah, Arizona actually outgained San Antonio. So even though San Antonio was playing from behind, their offense really just couldn't do much for the most part. And when it did start to get into gear, it almost felt like it was a little bit too late. But Arizona, kind of methodical with what they've done again. They took half of the 3rd quarter, drove down, scored a touchdown, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Passing yards favor San Antonio, but again, 137 rushing yards. Yes, you have a whole bunch of sack yardage in there for only 5 rushing yards for San Antonio. So if you include that sack yardage, what is what they're doing. Like I said, otherwise, San Antonio probably has close to 50, give or take, 50 rushing yards, something like that. So, oh well. 1 for 1 and 1 for 2 when it comes to field goals. Penalties, I can believe it, but again, it's just one of those things where I don't really necessarily believe it until I do a deep dive and look at it. So, turnovers. This is where it gets me because the Indoor Football League stats have 1 turnover apiece, unless it's been fixed. They had 1 fumble lost and 1 interception for Arizona. So it looks like they did correct it because when I looked at this, they didn't. But yeah, they had 1 fumble lost and they had an interception. But there was another interception, if I'm not mistaken. Or I could be wrong here, but that might have been correct. I'm not sure. But I feel like there was another turnover that I missed. But yeah. Or maybe it was a fumble lost. Did Arizona lose a fumble? Yeah, Arizona recovered a fumble, so there should have been a fumble for San Antonio here, too. There should have been 2 turnovers for San Antonio. The interception and the fumble lost because Kenny Gallup had the interception and he had the fumble recovery. So, again, something wrong when it comes to the Indoor Football League stats. Yeah, got to correct it, boys, girls, whoever's doing that. I know they've got men and women in the front office. So, either way, you got to correct that stuff. But that's where we have it. Taking a look at the defensive side of things. If you believe them, great, but only half tackle for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. I don't know, man. We'll see. But everyone kind of enjoyed some tackling for San Antonio. It's kind of all over the place. Aunt Joe So had 6 tackles and 6 assisted tackles, so a total of 9 total tackles, 2 pass breakups. Carson Taylor on the defensive line here for Arizona, 7 total tackles, 5 of those were assisted, 3.5 tackles for a loss, and 2 pass breakups. So what I don't understand is he had 3.5 tackles for a loss, but only 2 solo tackles. So how many assisted tackles for a loss did he truly have, man? So I don't know. That's where the stats are all crazy. 5.5 total tackles for a loss for Arizona, the 1 interception. They had a fumble recovery, but it's not here because Kenny Gallup had that fumble recovery. But oh well, what can you do? Anyway, rambled on enough. We need to go take a look at our bet. We have our final recap to talk about. Doesn't matter how they do it. Cover the spread. Rattlers win. Right. Final recap. Recap number 5, as again, we had staggered starts throughout this one. San Diego and Tucson rounding it out on a Saturday night. We start off with the Sugar Skulls receiving the kickoff. Draylon Ellis almost throws an interception to William Barber, but don't worry, he will. 3rd down, Ellis does throw that interception. It's to Elijah Reed this time, though. Strike Force, they begin on the Tucson 15. Edward Vander picks up a 1st down to make it goal to go, and then some penalties and mishaps, but Nate Davis lobs a pass to the end zone, and Edward Vander? He has the touchdown reception. So out of all of those things, 7-0 San Diego. Out of all the wide receivers, it's Vander, the running back. Sugar Skulls make quick work getting to the San Diego 5. I actually wrote that down wrong because it should be San Diego Strike Force getting to the Tucson 5. Tucson going I formation? What is this? Handoff to Tavion Thomas, and Tucson ties the game at 7. Like, seriously, I formation? Be still, my Nebraska triple option heart. What a beautiful, beautiful formation. Strike Force return it out to midfield. Tucson thinks they have a fumble recovery, so they challenge. Refs don't see it, though. San Diego ball, Tucson loses the challenge. I think I'm getting my words mixed up here. Another short yardage situation. I know I'm confusing you guys now, aren't I? I'm confusing myself. Another short yardage situation. Vander converts again. So this is San Diego. San Diego has blended the running game well this season compared to years past. So again, Vander's been running pretty well in this game. Not just this game, but overall he's been running really well. And I like how they've sort of gone from Nate Davis slinging it to he'll sling it, but we also need to incorporate the running game here. So kudos. Over the wall goes Shane Hooks. He can't hang on for the touchdown as we end the first quarter. Vander rushes down to the 1 yard line. San Diego can't punch it in. It's 4th and goal. Davis with pressure. My God, he floats up. You can see it's the 5th recap. Floats a pass and coverage breaks down. Dallas Daniels is open for the score. It's 14-7 Strike Force. Tucson can't get the offense rolling, going 3 and out. Macias on for a long field goal, and it's just a shank, man. I can't sugarcoat that. It's not even like a glorified punt. Right? It just off his foot wrong. So 3rd down for San Diego on the next drive. Daniels, again, he breaks contain, jukes a defender, and go gadget arm as he extends the ball across the goal line. Touchdown San Diego, 20-7, but the extra point is blocked. Already with great field position, Brandon Mackey, he pinballs off defenders. Like, seriously, all you had to do is tackle, and he breaks like 4 tackles on his way to the end zone. Tucson, they get back into this a little bit, 20-14 as they tack on their 2nd touchdown. Nate Davis trying to find his deep threat, but Aaron Jackson says, you underthrew it, it's mine. Sugar Skulls get the interception and a chance to take the lead before the half. Offense, though, will sputter again for the Sugar Skulls. It's 4th down at the 1-minute warning. And nothing doing. 4th down is incomplete. Strike Force start at the Tucson 8. It's 1st and goal. No one goes with Shane Hooks. He's all alone in the end zone. Nate Davis finds him, because of course he does. It's 28-14. San Diego gets a 2-point conversion. And then Ellis's pass slips out of his hands, but he catches it. He throws it again, and it falls incomplete. Adam Anderson has a strip sack on Draylen Ellis. Royce C. picks it up. He has a scoop and score. Tucson's offense has fallen off a cliff, and it's 34-14 with a bad snap and the 2-point conversion failing. So in one of the previous recaps, I said that ball is just kind of slippery depending on the pattern that they have on it. And the same thing went here with Ellis as the pass slipped out of his hands. So he was able to catch his own pass. But again, you're starting to see it a little bit with these footballs. Tucson gets bailed out by the defensive pass interference, and Macias misses a field goal as the first half expires. 34-14, that's our score at the break. Second half kickoff gets behind Dallas Daniels, and he's tackled for a rouge. It's 34-15. Tucson earns a point. San Diego gets a defensive pass interference to move the sticks. Sample then has a catch. He almost goes over the sideline. High snap over Nate Davis's head. Deshaun Davis has his own scoop and score for Tucson this time. It's a Davis on Davis crime, 34-22. Sugar Skulls absolutely needed that touchdown. Strike Force again go across midfield. Daniels has a pass bounce off his hands. Breon Murray gets it off the tip. Tucson has their second straight turnover. And it's one play, one touchdown. Brandon Mackey up the middle, breaking more tackles. He goes 29 yards to the house, 34-29. Tucson right back in this. Edward Vander trying to put San Diego on his back, down to the Tucson 6. He breaks 2 tackles and jukes another. This game's starting to get good. And then another one, Isaac Anderson forces a fumble and Tucson recovers. So just turnovers galore here for San Diego in these last couple of events. San Diego tries to challenge. They fail it. Tucson now has a chance to take the lead here. I said that before. Javian Lofton has a long catch to the 5, and now that offense is starting to click a little bit as we end the third quarter. It's a handoff to Tavion Thomas, and he rumbles across the goal line. He is in. Tucson takes the lead after being down 3 scores. It's 35-34 after a botched extra point. San Diego helped by a penalty, and it's all Vander catches on this drive at this point. I think he had like 4 in a row, if I counted right. Just short little dump-offs, little curl routes, whatever you want to call it. He's getting 4, 5, 6 yards a pop 4 straight times. So he's working the field. Daniels has a touchdown, but he drops it. So again, going off of his hands here, he's not had the best day when it comes to drops. Jalen Sample will take care of it, though. It's 3rd and long. Davis has Sample in the end zone, finds him. It's a touchdown. And then Sample has an octopus. That's the 2-point conversion and the touchdown. He has that 2-point conversion to make it 42-35. San Diego take the lead. Sugar Skulls work to the San Diego side of the field. Ellis goes end zone, and Lofton brings it in. What a catch. I thought he was led too far, but he's able to reach out and get it, and we're tied at 42. Macias tries a longer style onside kick, like a pooch kick in a sense. San Diego will recover it. By that I mean the ball bounced out of bounds, so it's San Diego ball. Daniels redemption. He brings in a 3rd down to convert. And at the 1-minute warning, Edward Vander takes it home. He breaks 2 tackles on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Strike Force. Extra point though, blocked. Not out of the woods yet. 48-42, San Diego. And then Ernesto Lacayo, he hits the ceiling on in the kickoff, so Tucson's going to have really good field position at the 1-minute warning, down by 6. So a touchdown and an extra point wins it. First down pass to Lofton as the clock starts. The ball is set. Tucson is running the ball. Draylen Ellis, he's wanting a horse collar on this run, and I think he has a case for it here. That might have been called, but I can see the reason why they didn't throw the flag, because the hand was on the horse collar. It did get taken off by Royce C. Tucson, though, they can't do anything with it. They can't complete a pass. It's 4th down and the game. No dice. Pass falls incomplete again. San Diego will come away with it. They run out the rest of the clock, and they take it 48-42. All right, so taking a look at this side of things, and no points for San Diego in the third quarter, but 27 in the second. And again, just the ability for Tucson to come back, and they've fallen short. So they've played some pretty close games, minus that Vegas one. They did pull out the victory against New Mexico. And San Diego, 2-1 right now. Tucson, 1-2. We'll see how it kind of goes the rest of the season. But Tucson, they've played some close games. Can we start seeing these close games translate to more wins like against New Mexico? Or we're going to see some of these games where they just can't get it going? The offense is worrying me a little bit, but again, just like we've put into context with other teams and other players, Draylen Ellis, not the best day, He's a rookie. So what can you do? Take a look at these game leaders on the left side. 18 to 34 for Nate Davis, 5 touchdowns on 176 yards passing. He did throw 2 picks. So what should have been 3 turnovers, if I'm not mistaken, for the Strike Force, because there was a fumble in there as well. You won't see that on the stats, man. So these are the Indoor Football League stats. Take them with a grain of salt. But yeah, I mean, not the best day, just enough to get it done. And sometimes you need those games to do it. And again, not trying to excuse the stats or how the game went, but Davis played decently, man, able to do it. And they didn't really have much depth at the offensive side of the ball, really. They had their backup quarterback and really no one else. That was it when it came to that. I don't know if they had 22 guys on that roster. I think they only had 21. Edward Vander, 9 carries, 35 yards, and 1 touchdown. I think he had 2 touchdowns, but one of those might have been a catch, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I write that down wrong? Let me go check. It says he only had the 1 touchdown. He had the 1 receiving touchdown. So, yeah, whatever. Either way, 35 rushing yards, 9 attempts. Dude's still really, really good. And again, he is your leading receiver. 9 catches, 76 yards. I guess I could have just looked down at my screen instead of looking at the stats. 9 catches, 76 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. So, again, he's doing it all. And like I said, I can't remember if it was San Diego or Quad City, but at one point when I was doing previews, he was the leading receiver and leading rusher. I think it was when he was with Quad City a couple years ago. So we know he can do it all. And it's not what San Diego needs, but they're definitely not going to turn it down if Edward Vander is catching and rushing and doing everything for that team. Draylon Ellis, no good, bad, dirty day for the young man, 5 of 21. Yeah. He did spread the ball around, but most of those completions, that wide receiver only had that 1 catch. So Tamarian Terry, 1 catch for 11 yards, non-existent. Demisio Ewing, 1 catch, 10 yards, non-existent. Jerron Waters, 1 catch for 2 yards, just non-existent. Lofton, 3 catches for 54 yards. You see him there at the bottom. And that's pretty much it. Their offense sputtered. Brendan Mackey, 6 carries, 50 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did run pretty well. Both those touchdown runs, pinballing off defenders and turning on the afterburners. So a good bright spot for Tucson, all things considered. Tavion Thomas as well, too, when it comes to their rushing game. So it's obligatory that you need a big, bruising running back in this Tucson offense, whether it's years past of Devontae Sapp Lynch or Mike Jones or Ben Jones or whoever. You need a Tavion Thomas and a Brendan Mackey. You need a two tandem running back when it comes to Tucson. Them's the rules. We talked about Lofton, but to go on that as well, just 3 of the 5 completions. Yeah, and what can you do, man? Lofton made the most of it, though. So I screwed up on the first downs here. Tucson did have first downs. They had 9 of them. I don't know why I didn't type 9, and it says 0, but they have 9, so that's my stupidity. They didn't really do much on third down. Now, I don't know if these are accurate. Again, these are Indoor Football League stats, but I would say that that's accurate. They only went 1 for 5. Their offense just couldn't really do much. Yeah, what can you say, man? Their offense sputtered from time to time, and then they got back into it with the turnovers. Total yards favored San Diego, 224 to 153, and again, that's the offense sputtering. Passing yards, again, favoring San Diego. Rushing yards actually favored Tucson. So, yes, the rushing game is there for San Diego, but compared to other teams, they're not rushing the ball nearly as much as other teams. But I think the Strike Force will be okay with that as long as they're winning ball games. Field goals, 0 for 1 for Tucson with the complete shank. So, not really any field goal opportunities when it comes to this. Penalties. Tucson had 5 penalties for no yards. That's not accurate. And then San Diego had 8 penalties for 7 yards. That's not accurate. So there's something going on here when it comes to the penalties, when it comes to 3rd and 4th downs, and things along those lines when it comes to the Indoor Football League and their stats page. Turnovers. I think this is wrong too because I thought San Diego had a fumble because there was a scoop and score for Tucson, but it shows that they did not lose a fumble in this game. Tucson lost their fumble, which was a scoop and score, but nothing for San Diego, which that's inaccurate as well. So there you go. Like I said, I'm trying to go game by game and getting behind the 8 ball when it comes to that. But at the same time, if this is what the Indoor Football League is going to put out, their stats are not accurate for a second straight year, if they've ever been accurate at all at this point. You start to really lose faith if this is what's gone on for the last 2 years. Okay. But anyway, that's where we have it with this one. Let's take a look at our defensive stats here. 2 tackles for a loss for San Diego. The 1 interception. They had 3 fumble recoveries. Somehow, they had 1 forced fumble, but 3 fumble recoveries. 5 pass breakups, and William Barber with 9 total tackles, but 7 solo tackles, 2 assisted, so 8 total tackles combined. 3 tackles for a loss for the Sugar Skulls on defense, 2 interceptions, 3 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, but no fumble recovery for 24 yards. Okay. Yeah, it's all screwed up, man. The stats are all screwed up. Kendrick Gladney, 5 solo tackles, 9 total tackles, so 4 assisted. He had 7 tackles. So, yeah, there we go. That's where we have it. I'm going to call it out when I see it and make fun of it and do all that stuff, because unless it changes, who knows what's accurate. Anyway, we're going to go take a look at our bet, and then we are going to wrap everything up. We're going to get out of here. Wasn't nervous one bit in this game. Not one single bit. And that is it for our Week 5 Saturday recap. A lot of games, a lot of stuff to talk about. It's just going to get longer and longer. Now, I think there might be a week or two throughout this season where you have 6, possibly all 7 teams. But I don't think there is when it comes to the fact that you have Sunday games. So you might have, hour long, hour and a half, however long this is going to take with all the editing and stuff like that. So bear with me. But yeah, I do appreciate the patience and stuff like that, because it does take a lot of time to watch all of these games, report on them, get the stats, however accurate they are, and go from there. So, like I said, not doing the highlights and stuff like that, those would take a couple of minutes. So, it is a lot. It is a lot of work when it comes to this stuff, and maybe next year, maybe later on this year, I don't know. Whenever I just get tired of doing this, I guess I will switch over to the highlights if I have that opportunity to. But we go from there, and just kind of keep it as we do. But big things coming down the pike when it comes to all of my stuff, and we venture on from there. We just venture on down there, and we go from there. Whatever. I don't know. I'm tired. It's a lot of talking, man. A lot of talking at night and everything like that. So my brain's fried. Numbers, stats, staring at a screen, staring at a ring light and everything like that. And it's a lot. So appreciate you guys taking the time. However long you guys watched, it means a lot. So yeah, cool. If you want to, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm not going to ramble any further than that. If you don't want to, great. But we're already moving on to week 6, and we go from there, because we've already got Friday games. Previews and stuff like that will be out probably right after this gets out. So watch this and then watch those, or vice versa, what have you. So either way, taking off, you guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. Catch you in those previews. Until then, see ya.